Good afternoon, everyone. I want to shed a light on a crucial yet often overlooked segment of our population, older adult kinship caregivers. These individuals, most of whom are middle-aged to elderly grandparents, often unexpectedly step into the role of primary caregiver for their grandchildren or other young relatives. Approximately 4% of the children in the United States are raised by their relatives, and 2.5 million children are in kinship care. The needs of the children are often at the forefront of the literature. Previous research has highlighted the benefits of kinship care for children, such as better communication with their siblings, a safe and familiar environment, and more positive parental contact than out-of-home care placements. However, the impact on older caregivers themselves often remains underexplored. This study aims to bring attention to these older caregivers, taking them from the background to being a central part of the picture. It's important that we remember to view the family as a whole. In order to do that, we must delve into the experiences of these caregivers, particularly since they often face challenges like chronic health issues and have a higher likelihood of living in poverty. Caregiving for children can increase financial burdens, raise the risk of chronic illness, and even strain social support systems. Moreover, older kinship caregivers, especially those who are providing care informally or without the support of the formal welfare system, often have fewer resources and supports options compared to other foster caregivers. This project uses quantitative methods to examine kinship caregivers in Florida who are age 50 and older and include both formal and informal caregivers. The project intends to examine the relationship between age groups and physical and mental health outcomes, such as the presence of chronic illness or mental health symptoms such as depression, and formal and informal support as potential mediators. It is important to note the differences between formal and informal kinship care placement and formal and informal supports. Formal support includes assistance that's received from the government and child welfare agencies and often goes hand in hand with placements with those agencies. Informal support is something that is provided by family and friends, such as emotional support, car rides, or babysitting. And informal support can be received whether the placement itself is formal or informal. Once a sufficient sample has been reached, cross-sectional analysis using linear regression will be conducted to further understand the impact of age on caregiver well-being. This analysis will also explore the mediating effect of different kinds of support on caregiver well-being. However, as recruitment is still ongoing, the study is currently limited to utilizing univariate analysis to explore the demographics of these caregivers and the types of support they may or may not be receiving and whether they may be facing some kind of chronic illness. The preliminary analysis of the current sample of 14 verified respondents provides key insights into the demographics of these caregivers. It's important to note that the sample size does remain small and may not be fully representative of the diversity of the population. With that being said, the average age of the respondents is about 60 years old, with the youngest being 52 and the oldest 72. Their majority respondents are female, with one male participant. In terms of racial and ethnic background, 50% of the respondents identified as Black, as white, non-Hispanic, and about 43% identified as Black or African American, non-Hispanic. These caregivers are also responsible for an average of about 2 children. A significant majority, or about 71% of the respondents, reported having at least one chronic health condition. This highlights the vulnerability of the population and the added complexity of caregiving under such conditions. Despite these health challenges, only 5 respondents reported receiving formal assistance from the Florida Department of Children and Families. However, of those 5, only 3 caregivers are still currently receiving support. The other 2 are no longer receiving formal services. However, these preliminary findings suggest that older kinship caregivers face significant health challenges and may lack sufficient access to formal support services. And addressing these gaps through targeted interventions and improved access to healthcare and other services is essential to enhancing the well-being of this vulnerable population. As this research project gains participants and a larger and more diverse sample is acquired, we hope to be better able to understand the full scope of needs that these caregivers have in order to inform better policies and practices. Thank you very much for your time.